Hi. Examination is the backbone of any school. Many schools have got examination department and many carry on with the examination, with the PGTs or the senior teachers. They try to manage the examination department with the teachers, but few have got examination department. Today we are going to talk about reviewing the examination department. Now, all the points which I'm going to be discussing today are very important. The points are very useful. So, principles, as per principal handbook, whenever there is an examination review, you can see this video, pick up few points, and start reviewing them. Let us talk about some of the work, some of the duties of examination department. Now, again, I will mention these duties can be of examination department or any teacher who has been assigned as the examination in charge. This examination department has to prepare a guidelines for teachers to prepare a question paper for different examinations. What are the type of examinations? We will discuss later. So, they have to prepare guidelines first in terms of marking scheme, in terms of weightage, in terms of blueprints, because blueprints are very important. Then for different subjects, there are going to be different guidelines, how the paper has to be set. So guidelines are first and the foremost thing which this department has to give it further. And if the guidelines are not being given, then probably your question papers are going to be of second grade. So please make a guideline. Please make a blueprint of each and every subject. Now, blueprint means that how many questions are going to be there, how many 1 mark question, how many 4 mark question, how many 3 mark question, how many 6 marks question, how many fill in the blanks, how many MCQs, how many short answer, how many long answer, very short answer, then how many of lower order thinking skill, how many of higher order thinking skills. So all these guidelines must be given to the teachers beforehand, and if you are not giving the guidelines, probably the question papers which you might be getting are of second grade. If you want the best of the question papers, then please set the guidelines first. Then this department has to collect the subject test paper. If there is a chapter wise test, then chapter wise test paper. If there is a weekly test, then the weekly test paper. If there is a term test, half yearly final, then the term paper, year end paper, formative assessment. So the department has to collect the paper. A circular has to be issued by this department with the signature of the principal and submission of marking scheme too at the same time. Marking scheme, we can refer to the CBSE marking scheme where they provide marks on steps rather than marks on final answers. So different marking schemes as per CBSE must be given for review, for seeing to all the teachers so that they have an idea how exactly marking scheme looks like, how exactly marking scheme is. Then these teachers have to prepare a question bank. Subject wise question bank can be prepared, because this question bank again is going to be very important. A subject committee can be formed for the best quality of question paper. These subject teachers can sit together and create a question paper. When the question paper is ready, just before 48 hours of the examination, these question papers must get printed, not before that. Principals must change some of the questions. But just before 48 hours, These question papers must get printed. Then conduction of examination, answer sheets, mark sheets, thread, stationery items. I will discuss them in details. These must be purchased and procured beforehand. Then this department has to create a seating arrangement for different examinations. Then they have to make a timetable of the examination. Then they have to make a duty chart for the teachers. A subject expert committee for quality correction of question papers and now answer sheets too. Not that the class teacher is going to check the answer script, but the subject committee will sit together and quality correction must happen. As I already mentioned, that the marking scheme must also be ready. Teachers have to be told. Again, I will be discussing this later, but the specified time to correct the answer scripts must be given to the teachers. The deadline must be very clear. Because if the deadline is not clear, then the preparation of report card is going to take a long time. Then the record keeping. The answer scripts have to be kept very safely. Digitally, marks have to be uploaded. Calculations have to be checked. And the answer scripts also have to be kept safely for 3 years. Before writing the marks on the report card, principals must check the mark list. That is very important for a principal. Every mark list must be checked by the principal, and at random few answer scripts must be called and seen whether mark list is prepared properly or not. We have seen cases in which not the teacher but somebody has played with the marks, given lesser marks or higher marks. So marks list needs to be checked by the principal always. The principal needs to sign the report card. The deadlines of report card must be very clear. Report card printing and report card papers must be ready. Then the parent-teacher meeting after the report card is ready for giving the feedback to the parents. Attendance also have to be checked by the examination department. And also if there is an outside examination, if the school is supposed to conduct outside examination, then again this department has to take care of that. These are some of the basic guidelines. I will discuss all of these guidelines again in details. First, let me talk about this. Was just a basis of a basic discussion about examination department. Principals have to pick a few points of review and then do it. First of all, let us discuss the type of examination. Few types I am discussing, and they may be many. First of all, it is unit test, chapter-wise test, weekly test, half-yearly examination, final examination. I am sure you might be knowing about all these examinations. They are all summative sort of an examination. Then there is another sort of examination which is called as diagnostic assessment. Now in this diagnostic assessment, students must be told that there is no point of cheating or looking here or there. Because this diagnostic assessment is just like pathology reports, pathology lab reports. If you're giving your blood for testing, then if you give somebody else's blood, then you won't be getting exact information about what are the deficiencies in your blood. So this report is actually question-wise analysis or topic-wise analysis. If there are 30 topics in a chapter which were covered, or there are 80 topics out of 6 chapters which are there, so we will make 80 type of questions or 30 type of questions. A student, when giving the diagnostic assessment test, will get to know what are the topics he or she doesn't know. And teacher will also get to know what are the topics which students have to work on. The students, those who get 100 out of 100, have to ensure, or those who try to get 100 out of 100, have to ensure that they know every topic. And this diagnostic assessment is going to clear the topics, that topic wise analysis. So if there are 80 different topics, student answers 76, 4 he or she is not able to answer, then these 4 topics he or she has not yet touched on. So the topic wise analysis happens when in this diagnostic assessment test. Then there are formative assessments. I'm sure you might already be knowing about formative assessment, so I'm not getting into details. Then the statutory body like CBSE expects 20 marks are being given for internals, and for that notebook checking, assignment, projects, and different forms of things, all that statutory body asks. So these 20 marks internal also have to be done, and this examination department has to take care of. Oral examinations. So these are some of the type of examinations which are supposed to be there, and if they're not there, then principals have to see that all of these examinations must exist in your school. To the examination department, now you have a principal's diary. Review is there every week. Now 1 week you sit with your school calendar. We have not entered, we have given basic guidelines in the principal's diary to do all of these things. But now you sit with the principal's diary and the school calendar. The school calendar which mentions about all of these examinations, unit tests, weekly tests and other tests. And now what you need to do? 1 month, let us say today is 1st of June. Then, and your examinations are going to be there, let us say 1st of July is going to be unit test. So today's date you were supposed to get the stationery printed. So you just, examination is on let's say 10th of July. So 10th of June, you sit across and write in diary that 10th of June I have to give printing stationery for printing. And what are these stationery items? Answer scripts, attendance sheet, invigilation sheet, then rubber band, then thread stapler pins, graph papers, map, room number slip with sitting arrangement, brown tapes, scissor, gum tubes, plain white sheet, ruled sheets, sellotapes, sketch pens, refills of red, blue and green color, and some pen of red, blue and green color. These are the basic stationery item. So if the examination, like when you're sitting on 1st of June or 1st of April or 2nd of April. So 2nd of April you're writing, 10th of July is your exam. So 10th of June you have to give all these stationery item for printing. So you just write it down manually and create a yearly calendar. And this principal's diary, principal's handbook is going to become very handy for you for the examination department. Now ordering of report cards, if they are not printed digitally through computer, through some examination software, then this ordering of report card must also be done 30 days before. So again, mention it there in the principal's diary. Then you have to meet the examination committee and HODs to discuss the question paper format, and that again has to happen 30 days before, because if you meet them 5 days or 10 days before, it is not going to help. So before 30 days you have to sit with the examination committee and head of the departments or subject experts to discuss the question paper format, and that again has to have 30 days before. Once the format is ready in next 2, 3, 4 days, then meeting of all the staff members must happen 25 days before. Now again, if the examination is on 10th of July, then before 25 days you have to have a meeting, because now before 30 days question paper format is ready. Now 25 days before, a meeting with the staff members have to be there. Then teachers have to deposit the question papers, and that to happen in 22 days before the examination. Then checking of the question papers, finalizing the question paper by the subject committees must happen 20 days before. And then checking by the principal must happen 15 days before. Then date sheet printing must happen 15 days before the examination. Seating plan arrangement must be ready 10 days before the examination. Seating plan implementation must happen 1 day before the examination. Now, principal has to check the question papers, that is approximately 18 days before the examination. Timetable has to be prepared, has to be approximately 30 days before the examination, so that it is given on the right time to the students. The points which I have discussed in the first part, when I was discussing about the examination committee duties and some of these checklists, where I've just given you an idea that how to use principal's diary, sit at one time with the coordinators with examination department and prepare the yearly reminders in the principal's handbook. Create a yearly reminder. Sit once for 1 day and create the yearly reminder for yourself as per your school calendar. Then there will be examination day. 2 days before you have to make the duty chart and the relievers list. Then who's going to check? Then you have to create some circulars regarding the final dates, checking final dates, making of green sheets, submission of green sheets, rechecking of green sheets, and preparation of report cards. I'm just giving you some tips you can add on. This is just to open up your mind that the examination department is so important, and considering all these points are very, very important. Then we need to see the evaluation part. In evaluation, within 3 days must be deadline to check all the copies just after the examination, and they must be rechecked by the examination committee. They can give it to somebody else. Then the mark list and the copies must be checked whether the marks are entered are correct or not. Then a compiled list of marks must be entered in the computer if necessary. Then the green sheet have to be verified. Green sheet has to be prepared where all the marks of all the students of all the subjects are there. Green sheet is there. And green sheet must reach to the principal, and principals need to check those green sheets. First teacher has to check in correct, examination department or HODs or coordinator, and then green sheet has to be reached to the principal. That is very important. Green sheet is the most important examination document which a principal has to sign. Then marks entry on computer and preparation and printing of the report card, and principal signing the report card. Now, once this examination gets over, and if you are digitally sound, and if your software, if you have an examination software or without software, then some analysis have to be done on the report card. What is this analysis? Because without this analysis after the examination, probably the whole process is useless for the principal. If you are not doing analysis, then the student's result will not get better. So what is the analysis point? You have to find the toppers of the class and meet the toppers. You have to find the failures, those who have failed, and you have to meet those students. Very important point. I don't know how many principals do it, and if you're doing it, you're a wonderful principal. And the next point which I'm going to say, if you're not doing it, then probably this video and this eye-opener video is meant for you. For every subject in every class, you have to find the averages. How many students were there in 30 to 40 or below 33? How many were there in 33 to 40? How many students are there in 40 to 50? How many students are there in 50 to 60? And likewise, it goes up to how many students were there in 90 to 100. Subject wise, if you have that list, then you can call the subject teacher and say why these marks are less in this particular subject, why the students number in this bracket is more, and how can we increase this bracket. Basically, if there are 5 students in 40 to 50 bracket, then you have to talk to the subject teacher that how in next examination we can bring them to 50 to 60, 70 to 80 bracket. Then we have to, next point of reports or evaluation might be class wise averages, same brackets of class, that subject also and class wise also, for all the subjects together. All the subjects together, you can check the average, that according to the percentages, that how many students have scored below 33, 33 to 40, 40 to 50, and you can call the students, motivate them, and you can call the class teacher to talk to them that these students need remedial teaching. And for remedial teaching, we have another video and Principal's Handbook and Diary YouTube channel. I'm sure you might have already subscribed it. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe the channel. Then the principal has to find out after the examination or during the examination who were the absent students. Then she has to, or he has to talk to the parent that why the students were absent. Then you can create, if the marks are computed, then still you have to create a school-wise topper from 1st class to 12th class. Who is the topper? You can find out for all the subjects cumulative range of exam marks. For subjects in the whole school or in the class, or if there are 6 sections in the class, you can find out the nth student. The top nth student means top 20 students in that particular subject. Motivate them with a certificate. Then you can find out the bottom 20 students and call them for a motivation. And this bottom nth student can be class wise, the whole 6 sections, individual class wise, subject wise, term wise, unit test wise. The bottom nth also and top nth also. Top nth must be given a certificate, and bottom nth in every subject, in every, the reports which I have discussed are already 40-50 kind of reports. But principal has to see these kind of reports. And if your principal is not making these reports, then there is a major concern. And today the examination softwares automatically generate these kind of reports. The only thing the principal has to do, ask the software person that I want these reports, and he is going to give you those reports to you. But reports have to be checked by the principal, and the students must be called, teachers must be called after the examination. Otherwise the whole process of examination is defeated. The summative examination, if the feedback is not there and if the feedback is not improving, then the whole process itself gets defeated. We have to prepare a class teacher report, not the student report. Student report is already prepared, PTM is over. Now it is the class teacher report, subject teacher report, coordinator report, department report, top students, bottom students, average students, cumulative reports, toppers and everything. These reports are very much necessary. I am sure this video might have been an eye-opener for you. If you're doing better than this, then please give us suggestions. If this video can be an eye-opener for you, then please give positive comments. Do watch this video again and again. On the every reminder of principal's task grid, do watch the video. It is really going to help you a lot. If you've liked it, subscribe the channel. Enjoy watching videos. We are going to be uploading videos very often. As soon as there's a new topic, we are going to be uploading the videos. I'm sure you are going to enjoy all these videos. Thank you very much. Have a great day.